Hey everybody, welcome to the Spirit Lounge. My name is Zach, and this is Gina Scarpino, psychic medium and spiritual life coach. We're here to give you the predictions for the month of August 2021. And there's a
Yes.
lot going on. Gina missed last time, so we're going to give her the floor and open it up and
Mhm.
give you the insights that you're looking for this month. Here we go.
Excellent. So, looking at August, August is a big, huge transition month, you guys. I feel like I have so much to dive into as far as this month goes. This is a beginning of a new chapter, new book, new things in all areas of life. So, I'm going to dive deep into career first on what career moves are going to take place. So, when we're looking at career in the month of August, you're going to start getting intuitive guidance on what to do, what not to do, but there's going to be a huge transition. So, if you own your own business, you might see like people moving out of your business. You might see players that are like, you know what, I've had a great time here, but I want to go on and venture off and do this. There's going to be a lot of space created around business and career. So know that the key players that you're being given as far as career goes and coworkers, a lot of things are going to change, okay? So you want to really hone in, ask your guides, ask your angels, what's really going on here, but know that you have to go with the flow. Okay. So, for instance, with the spirit spot, I have tons of new people and I have a couple people moving out, but I also know that space is being created for a new avenue that I've been asking for. So you're being given the opportunity to create what you want to create. So if you've been thinking, oh, I want to try something new, I want to learn something new, I want to create this within my business, or I want to create this within my career, know that changes are going to take place so that those things can begin to roll in. Okay. So a lot of key players or a lot of players that are within your business or within your company, some people are going to move out and just really tune into everything's happening for you, not to you. Okay, which is going to bring me into finances this month. Holy moly. Okay, so energetically, finances are very much tied into relationships. Obviously, they're tied into career, but more so, currency and financials are this energetic exchange, right? So, when we're looking at finances for the month of August, it's almost like a give and take where this space is being created for your career. There's also going to be space created in finances, meaning like you might have a big bill that takes away, some of your income, or you might have to purchase something big, which is going to take that money away from your account, but it's also going to create space and inspiration of, oh, I need to replace this income, so I have to create this. Do you see how that tie-in goes in there? So, what seems like it could be like, oh, that really sucks. I have to pay out all of this money. But then it's like, okay, how can I replace it? What can I create? What do I feel inspired to do? So it's all about inspiration. So think about this as inspiration. Now, relationships, okay? So going into relationships for the month of August, the key word here is diplomatic, logical. The month is going to be moving into the month. So the 1st of August, there was lots of magic, lots of like, oh my gosh, everything is possible. And everything still is possible with the right amount of communication. So it was really interesting. I watched this show yesterday. Do you all remember the quarantine show Love is Blind? So one of the cast members on there was, Love is Blind. They were behind like a wall and they got to know each other. They couldn't see each other. It was like this magnificent thing, right? Well, when these two people met, there were secrets that came out about that person's life. And the other person was like, no, I don't want to be with you. These are crazy. Like, I can't handle this kind of secret. But then in the next scene, she was like, I just want someone to love me for me and everything that I've gone through and everything that I've experienced. And it's like, but you just shove that person away for being open and honest about their past. So in a nutshell, that's what love is going to look like for the month of August. So, if you're wanting an open, honest relationship and you're getting open and honest and then being judgmental towards it, know that you're going to get judgment back. Okay. So, be very key and intentional with the wording that you're using in all relationships, significant other relationships, and then relationships within your family, friends, and coworkers as well. Be very intentional with your wording and don't become overly emotional. When you have these situations come up in your key relationships, use those as opportunities, okay? Opportunities to take a step back and say, I'm going to think about that and I'll get back to you. Let me process that. Let me sleep on it. If I have to give August an omen, I'm going to say, you need to sleep on it. So, any decisions that you're trying to make, anything that is trying to transpire or you're thinking about, sleep on it before you take action, okay? Because sleeping on it is an old saying, it's amazing. And it's like sometimes a lot of emotions come up at night, especially for this time with August and where the planets are aligned. A lot of emotions will come up during during the dark time. So sleep on it, relax, travel, travel for August. Things are coming and unwinding. So as I'm looking at this, school is starting. I'm going to touch on politics and I'm going to touch on environmental issues as far as this goes. So with politics, you're going to notice fear breeds fear, and you can choose to live in fear or you can choose to live your life the way that you want to. Respect is going to be key, but you're also going to find that there's going to be a lot of things that come across the news where you're like, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. Or wait a minute, you said what? And there's going to be a lot of this that comes out this month because it's all tied in with kids going back to school. And don't be surprised if a lot of those mandates come back and a lot of those old things that we've experienced in the past with this coronavirus, a lot of things that were in place last year are going to come back into fruition this year. I just have a horrible feeling. I don't want it to happen, but I just have this feeling that it's all going to transpire. So, fingers crossed that we don't go through a shutdown. I'm not trying to promote fear at all whatsoever with this, but certain people are going to be scaling back. Okay. So if this transpires this month, what I want you to do is scale back, focus on your relationship, focus on your family sector, and then get back to the heart of things. And then it'll push it forward even more. Now, environmentally, let's talk about environment and what's going to be transpiring and what I'm seeing. Okay. I just have a feeling that there are going to be fires that take place this month. There are going to be like natural disasters. So be on the lookout for that. I think that one just took place in Turkey that I saw the other day. So you're going to notice a lot of natural disasters happening this month. And I'm seeing 3 significant ones. Okay. So be on the lookout with that. But all in all, August is a good transitional month, but there's a lot of energy packing in. So self-care in the way of doing less, not doing more is going to be perfect. The more time that you take to do less, the more inspiration you will have, the more intuitive things you will have. And I just saw the clock on our live feed and it said 911. That's my personal angel number for help is on the way. So don't worry, help is on the way. Everything's going to take place. So that's my intuitive energy read for the month of August. Zach, what do you have for us?
Awesome. Thank you, Gina. So
Yeah.
we have, let's see. Here is the chart. I have August 2nd pulled up here. I'm using, again, the Vedic sidereal zodiac. It's different than the tropical Western zodiac. And I'm using Sagittarius rising to read the month to focus on the United States, being United States' chart is Sagittarius rising also. So Here we can see in the central portion of the chart, the main 4 center houses, or the angle houses, the 1st, 4th, 7th, and 10th houses, they're all empty. There are no planets within them. And when you look at someone's birth chart, there's this, a yoga or combination. You would tell that person, get thee to a nunnery. There's no manifest outward expressions or energy pulling you into the outer realms of the world, your personal self and your personality, your business, your commitments, your relationships, or your home life. So all of those things, there may be a tension happening or building up right now where you're processing, churning, figuring out, planning what the next step is. We just had Jupiter went retrograde recently. It's in the 3rd house. The 4th house is of the home and moving. And usually Jupiter in the 3rd house signifies moving of some sort. So a lot of big transitions, a lot of people moving their homes. And in the news recently, we just had the eviction moratoriums. They did not get renewed. So a lot of people are going to be moving. They're going to be in this transition. All of a sudden, they go from, I didn't have to pay for my rent. I didn't have to worry about this thing. We had all the support, and now that's being lifted. It's being taken away. Back, I think 1 or 2 months ago, I was saying a lot of these support systems from the government are going to start coming away. This is happening, and this is moving. So right now, we're in the planning phase. We're in the figuring out phase. Also, the 3rd house is the subconscious mind. If the 4th house associated with the moon, Cancer sign, the 12th from the 4th is the subconscious, the deep unknown, the hidden, the spiritual. And we're really planning through and figuring out, okay, what is it that I actually want? How do I look at a bigger picture? And being empowered to see things from a bigger perspective, not just from the way we've been normally operating, to take a step back, but even just be caught by moments where we're given a glimpse into a bigger way of being, the actual future we want to live, and who we want to be and become. So moving forward, we have, let's get the time change bar. Let's move forward. So going forward, I want to go forward to like the 11th, 13th. So Venus moves into Virgo here, which is the 6th sign in the 10th house. So our creative ideas and pursuits, things we've been churning on, figuring out, they're going to start to come to light. But Venus in Virgo is debilitated. So that manifestation, our ability to communicate and convey that creative idea, say it's a new business offering, something that you've been planning on putting out, a new product, a new course, a new line, it might not have a smooth launch. Or the movies that come out, they might be over criticized and get really harsh reviews when the movies are like fine. But everybody's mode is in this kind of stuck, like, I want love, I want this, sensuality, but like I'm analyzing it all the time. And I'm stuck like thinking about all the details and criticizing it. Thankfully, coming up, we have Mercury. It's going to be on the 27th, 26th. Mercury moves into Virgo. Mercury owns Virgo. It cancels the debilitation of Venus. It gives us the capacity to actually communicate. So we're going to have that ability to get our point across, as opposed to be, raining on people's parades and shutting people down and keeping them from feeling that expressive expansion. And we have that dynamic also. Venus is starting to, you say, divorce or separate from Mars. So that intense passion that's been following us around, a lot of deep connected, or a hot summer for some people, is going to start to cool off. It's going to start to be like, okay, like, we've been going really heavy at this. Like, I need to get some work done. I can't stay home with you tonight, babe. Like, let's figure some things out in terms of our schedule. Back to like Rahu, the north node of the moon, in this 6th house of routines and health and wellness, or your maintenance of health, what you actually do through the day. Mid-month, we're really going to start to see back. Let's go back when the moon was with the north node. I went too far. So the moon, it's on the 1st, or actually today, We're getting a real clear picture of um, what have we done to ourselves or for ourselves? Have we gone from being locked down, being shut down, and restricted to full out partying every night, every weekend, going out, lighting it up, and burning ourselves out? So there's going to be this sort of extremes of binge and purge, going out a lot because I was stuck inside, but now because I went out a lot, I'm tired and I'm choosing to stay inside now. So there's a lot of that back and forth that we're going to have in our realization and learning the consequences of having an unbalanced lifestyle schedule. And that's going to give us this new perspective to walk forward from and know, okay, wow, like this is really what an unbalanced lifestyle does to me. And now I can choose to do something different. You can gain information. North Node of the Moon, Rahu, gives you everything you want, but at any cost. So you can have all that partying, you can have all these friends and community and all these things, but you might be burnt out. You may need to get back on a strict diet and get back on your strict routine, or do a little bit of extra fitness on the side so you can work off that extra couple 10 pounds you might have added on because you're having too much food and you're partying and drinking and all these things. So we're working towards end of the month, things really coming out as a mature, clear way of communicating, way of getting things across, and writing this new chapter is one of my main notes I have here. It's an introspective month in August, and we're getting our affairs in order to start writing our next chapter of our lives and of what's next for us.
That is such a excellent way to put it. Getting your affairs in order so that you can create or write that next chapter or that next book. I love that. That like puts August in a nutshell. Absolutely. Get your stuff together.
Get it in a bag, figure it out, put it on your back, and let's go.
Right. Absolutely. Like, hurry up, get it over with, get everything in alignment, do what you need to do, handle your business, don't procrastinate. Get it over with so that you don't feel stressed out and like going. So I love that. That's such a good way to put it.
Gina, do you have a card for us?
Yes, I do. Okay. 8 of emotion and intuition and insight. So the way I'm looking at this, so sometimes when I read cards, I'll read what's at the bottom of them, and I'll read it out loud, but I will also tell you what I intuitively feel about it. So this is 8 of emotion. You feel a deep longing for something meaningful in your life, in your heart. You know that there is more out there waiting for you in the world. It may be time to switch careers, move to a new home or city, or initiate other important changes. Do what's right for you and seek your magical new life. So, this is just double emphasis on whatever you're wanting, get clear on it, and then create the steps and visualize exactly what you're wanting to transpire. Also, there's intuition and insight. Okay. And this one reads, your intuitive abilities are very accurate right now. So you can trust your guidance to lead you in the right direction. Follow your own insights over the advice of others and don't allow worry to guide your way. It may be best to keep your secrets to yourself for now. So I do like to read the descriptions, but then I also look at the picture and interpret them intuitively. You're going to be given signs. So, like, this looks like she's peering out from a window. So, imagine yourself looking at your life. You're looking through the window and you're seeing everything take place as far as like a third party view. That's really what this month is going to be about, being introspective, following that intuitive guidance, not talking about it to everyone, and just like really getting comfortable within yourself on what you're wanting to do, but then go after it in a large way next month, not this month. So then when I'm looking at this, you are being protected, you are being guided, you are getting that intuitive gut feeling, right? And it's imperative that you start listening to those gut feelings, regardless if you know what the outcome is going to be. So even though like things are taking place and you don't know which direction you're meant to go, take one step in front of the other. I used to think that whenever I got intuitive guidance, I had to do it right then and there. I had to create everything and it come into fruition in a blink of an eye. But intuition is all about learning to take those baby steps so that those baby steps eventually lead you to this grand vision. But it's within those baby steps and really enjoying the process and going with the flow and being like, oh, I got another intuitive hit. I'm going to take this step. I'll see where this goes. So I love those cards for this month. So meaningful.
I love it. So, Gina, I wanted to ask you specifically, in your experience or in your work, what is it that you find is like a common trend that keeps people from making that change that they want to make in their lives?
Oh my
I'm being a
gosh.
bit vague, but there tends to be a type of blocks, or you tend to attract a type of client who has this issue. Is there something like that?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. People have so much fear around change because it all comes down to trusting themselves. A lot of people don't trust themselves. They've had experiences in their lives that have knocked down their confidence so that they can't trust themselves. So that when they want to make a change, they're like, but I don't know. I'm so scared. What if this happens? What if that happens? And it's like, if you're wanting to change careers and everything is falling apart at work and you're like, nobody likes me, or this thing happened at work and it doesn't feel good, like that situation is happening to like scoot you out the door so that you make a change. But here's the thing, this is like so common. People are like, I'm fearful to do it, so I don't want to do it. Fear doesn't change. Everybody has change. But people that are action takers look at the fear, step over it anyway, and still make the change. And then there's people that don't know how to step over it. So the first step to being able to conquer your fears and make that change is see fear, say hi to it, and do it anyway. And then you'll see that it always works out for the best. What about you? What about in your experience?
I think like most people, um, oftentimes it's like comfort. Oh, I'm so comfortable here. I don't want to do
Mm.
that. I just feel so good here, but nothing in my life is working. And it's like, what are you getting at here then? Are you going to stay stuck and,
Yeah.
let things change, like happen to you? If I understand anything about my life experience, change is what's constant.
Mhm.
And if we're not willing to change, whether we like it or not, the things around us, the life around us is changing.
Mhm.
So it's more, um, if we're not willing to be a part of the action of life or take the steps that build a new space, then we're going to be given something that we don't like and then be more dissatisfied as a result. We'll be,
Mhm.
I think of kids wanting to like not wanting to pick where we go to eat for dinner. And
Mhm.
they're like, "Oh, I don't wanna go there. I don't wanna go there." And then you pick somewhere for them, and they're like, "I don't wanna eat this. I don't wanna eat any of like, I don't wanna be here. Imma throw a tantrum. I'm gonna just give you a bunch of crap because, like,
Yeah.
I don't like the hand I was dealt." And so
Mhm.
there's this, what I'm starting to describe is sort of this cascade of what might be like a victim mentality, right? If I'm willing to be subject to my environment and not take action and participate and take responsibility, then I'm going to be the victim of the situation. And then if I'm going to complain on top of that, I'm just compounding my issues. So
Mhm.
somewhere between people being stuck and lazy and just not wanting to change, and then, you know, they don't change, they don't follow my advice, and then a couple months down the road, they're like, exactly what you said was gonna happen happened. Now I'm ready to
Mhm.
listen.
Yeah.
And so, I think the advice is being willing or, uh, eager to grow and change, to cultivate that within yourself, I think is one of the most powerful things to riding the horse of happiness, I think. Like, I don't think that
Mhm.
happiness is something that just like spontaneously just happens. It's something you choose. You choose to be in that state or on that horse of happiness. And if you get knocked off of it, okay, something happened, you get hit by a branch, you weren't looking, you were too busy being happy. But that's part of the risk. I love the
Yeah.
Abraham Hicks thing where um, why does a dog stick its head out of a window, risking and knowing like, oh, a rock could come up and hit it in the eye or whatever? It's because the sensation and experience of having your head out the window and enjoying that is so much more important and exhilarating than the concern of the rock. Because if
Absolutely.
you're never going to stick your head out of the window if you're worried about any possible rock that may never come.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love that. So Abraham Hicks is amazing. Absolutely love listening to all of those teachings. And the art of deliberate creating is what Abraham Hicks used to call it.
Mm.
And then a lot of stuff came out around deliberate creating. So then they changed it to the art of allowing.
Mhm.
And it's like allowing things to flow, not needing to control things, knowing that everything is happening for you, not to you. I think that that's really cool. And I think because you brought up the horse and the happy horse, I'm going to coin August as the month of the horse, as the animal totem for the month, because I think that's super cool.
Yeah.
And the horse brings us lots of freedom, lots of movement, and unbridled spirit. So you will notice like getting back into childlike things, wanting more fun in your life, needing more fun, needing more space, needing that freedom. And the horse brings in all of that energy. Also, horses are so sensitive and intuitive. So I love that. If you want more on the horse, you can look up horse animal totem. It'll give you tons of knowledge. I love it. And thank you so much for bringing that in.
Absolutely.
Cool. So I think that's everything that we have for today. Do you have anything else that you want to chat about, Zach?
No, that's it. I think that we can tie it up in a beautiful bow and send this
Yes.
out to y'all. We'd love to hear what you think about the podcast and give us any feedback you have. We're on Amazon, Audible. We're on iTunes, Spotify. We're all over the place. YouTube. Go to Gina Julian Scarpino or Gina Scarpino Psychic Medium on
Yes.
YouTube. GinaJulianScarpino.com to book her for a reading.
Yes.
And check her out on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram at Good Again Healing, goodagainhealing.com if you want to book a private session. And that's all I got. Anything from you now?
Nope, that's all. You got it all out there. Thank you so much, you guys. It is always an inspiration getting to read the month and look into our own futures and yours. So I hope you have a fantastic August. If you need more clarity, book with myself, book with Zach, link up with us on all of our social media. And my newest one on TikTok, Fortune Sweetie Psychic, that's loads of fun and lots of relationship advice. So we will see you guys soon. Have a great August.
Take care.